So we're going to talk about how to survive this parole system. How do you survive this system of parole? There are a couple time-tested approaches. You know, first we have to start off with the right foundational understanding, the right worldview, and to understand your parole officer is not your friend. This system is not designed for you to win. This system does not want you to win, and it is designed for you to fail. And it is critical that you protect yourself, and you protect yourself by knowing the rules, knowing the laws, and complying with them, and also knowing your rights. So first and foremost, I can't emphasize this enough. The first way to never return to prison again, to successfully complete parole and probation or federal supervision, is commit no crimes. Commit no crimes. 9 times out of 10, if you are crime-free, you will not be reincarcerated. Yes, there are people that are incarcerated that are innocent. We all know them. There are many of them. The overwhelming majority of us were out committing crimes when we got incarcerated. The overwhelming majority of us did something that got us violated. Most people return to prison on technical violations. So understanding what they are. Things such as moving without giving them your address. It's difficult to be under the control and supervision of these oppressive systems, right? However, what you always have to keep in mind is going behind that wall, going back to prison, being reincarcerated is far worse. It's far worse than letting these people know where you live or putting in plans when you want to leave the state. You know, it is unnatural to be oppressed and to be under that type of control. I agree. However, it is far worse to find yourself in a setting where people are dictating when you eat, when you go to the bathroom, what you eat, when you sleep. You got to stand for count. So community level supervision should be the preference over correctional settings. So there's certain things that you have to do to prevent those technical violations. Again, comply in terms of documentation, in terms of where you're going to live, whether you're moving. They tell you to get a job, go on a job search. A lot of people get violated because they haven't received a job to pay their court cost and fine. They haven't secured a job. They're not going on job searches. Listen, nobody wants to work for $7, $8, $9 an hour. I understand. However, keep in mind again, if and when you get reincarcerated, you will be making 17 cents an hour, 50 cents an hour, something like this. So while you're incarcerated, you're willing to work in the kitchen, the hot steaming kitchen, for 17 cents an hour. But when you're home, you don't want to work for $9, $10 an hour. That just doesn't add up. We can't allow our pride. We can't allow the disrespect from these parole and probation officers. We can't allow the pressure, the peer pressure from our poor associations to lead to us being reincarcerated. The other thing, a lot of people are reincarcerated due to police contact because they're engaged in unhealthy relationships. Any relationship I've ever been involved with, my partner knows, she would know that you have one chance to call the police on me. So first off, I'm not going to abuse and beat and punch on no woman that I'm living with, dealing with, or married to. What I'm saying is, a lot of people find themselves in these situations because of jealousy, because of the toxic relationships they're in, because of poor communication, where you find yourself in a conflict, and because of your poor problem-solving skills, the police end up being called. Now you've got police contact. Only, and I can't emphasize this more enough, only deal in healthy relationships, healthy friendships, healthy partnerships. Do not choose a companion that is always going to be fighting with you. Do not choose a companion that's going to be bringing negative energy into your space when you're trying to successfully re-enter into society. Do not choose a companion that's going to put unnecessary challenges on you, that's not going to be patient, give you time to collect your thoughts, give you time to strategize, give you time to save some money, to successfully reintegrate and contribute to the family, man. Those pressures of money, and need, and you putting pressure upon yourself to play catch up or to make good with the kids, that the time that you missed out with the children, will only lead you back into being reincarcerated. You know? Back to where we started, commit no crimes. The obvious ones, you know, if something you struggle with is selling drugs or a credit card scam or whatever it is, don't do it. Stay away from it. Stay away from your sin as well as the people. You know, if all your cousins or your right-hand man selling drugs, chances are you're going to end up selling drugs again, or you're going to get caught up in his indictment, or you're going to get pulled over, he'll have a gun or drugs in the car. You know, you're not supposed to be hanging out with people that are convicted felons, formerly incarcerated, or prison survivors. And if you want to survive and complete probation and parole, you will comply with that. You know, and that's not an easy task, right? You can't go to your grandmother's cookout without Cousin Tony being there, and Cousin Tony has a felony. A lot of people in our family, 1 in 3 black males have felonies. 1 in 6 Hispanic males, 1 in 9 white males. You know, we have over half a dozen million people walking around this country with felony convictions. So it's not going to be easy, but it's yours. This is your freedom. This is your life. And if you want to stay home, you'll comply with those parole stipulations. All right. So those are a few things that you can do to preserve your freedom, to protect yourself and your family, to protect your legacy so that you stay here. Now, what about when you get the overzealous, corrupt probation or parole officer that's just out to get you or anyone that looks like you, that just doesn't like you for whatever reason, that is adding a total, that hates the world, hates their job? They exist. There are many of them out there. What do? Documentation and knowing your rights. Basic things such as you have the right to ask for another parole officer. Put everything in writing. You have the right to ask for your parole officer to be switched. You have the right to communicate with their supervisors. And I'm not saying the supervisor is going to be pleasant. You know, people in the criminal justice system, they view us as criminals. They treat us like pieces of crap. It's rare that you get somebody that practices true humanity and leaves your dignity intact. So you have to set the stage. Don't play with those people. They're not your friends. You hold them to account. They're civil servants. They work for you. And they don't understand that. Your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your children, they're not on parole, probation, or supervised any kind of supervision. So don't let them talk to you any way that they want. Don't let them talk to your people any way that they want. Don't let them ask your family all kind of questions. And again, put in that paperwork. Find out what the documentation is in your state and hold them to account about. File grievances about these people. Leave a paper trail. File grievances. Send emails with complaints to the supervisor. Document. That will protect you. That will show that anything that they do is retaliatory. So once you drop that paperwork, you have a level of protection where you can show that this is in retaliation if they seek to violate you. All right? Just wanted to cover a couple of points on how to successfully navigate and complete parole and probation. You got to get a job. You got to stay crime-free. You got to stay away from relationships with people that are formerly incarcerated. Stay out of your own neighborhood temporarily, man, until you can get through this paper. If you don't have a driver's license, don't drive. You know, if you're on probation or parole, don't smoke weed. These things sound really basic, however, these are the things that we struggle with. Don't drink alcohol. You know, the world is stressful. You're tempted. It's unlikely that you're going to get caught, but eventually you will, right? It's unlikely that this time that you smoke, you're going to get, you know, they're going to do the urine test or they're going to violate you. Eventually they will. And you'll end up back incarcerated. Your family will suffer. Your children will be left without you. Your mother will be out there without you. You know, some of the worst stories that I hear are from folks, the most guilt that they carry is that their mother died while they were upstate, man. Their mother died while they were incarcerated. Especially for foolishness, man. We need to be here to protect our children, man. Your daughter's going to be walking this world without you because you couldn't live without smoking that weed. They're all kind of creeps out here. You know, protect your family. Protect your family. Make better choices. So, this is Dr. Bats. Love you even when you don't love yourself. I believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. I've been on probation and parole many times, successfully completed it. I've violated several times. You know, I'm not telling you that this is easy. They lie to you, they deceive you, and sometimes they're just out to get you. But what you cannot do What we cannot do, and I can't emphasize this enough, is that we can't turn our lives over and throw ourselves on the platter for these people to slaughter us, man. You got to make better choices, man. We are the future. We once you come home, that you've been blessed to come home, begin building a legacy or reconnect with the people that you love and focus on what's right, man. There are a lot of brothers behind the wall that have never gotten this opportunity, will never get it. You know, I'm in Pennsylvania right now, and life means life in Pennsylvania. So if you've been blessed to have another chance at life, at love, at liberation, take advantage of it, and don't let this little parole officer stop you.